Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear cadets of class 7, I welcome you all in my today's online class. Dear cadets, in this pandemic situation, I hope you are safe and sound at your sweet home with your parents, family members, and relatives. Dear cadets, one earnest request to you: if you feel any source of sick or illness, please report to the nearest CMH without any delay. And side by side, inform your physical condition to the college authority detailed. Cadets, because of an unavoidable circumstances, I am unable to impart you lesson in classroom before you. So, college authority has arranged online class for you. Now I am going to impart my lesson on the Bangladesh and citizen of Bangladesh. Dear cadets, now Corona awareness speech. Cadets, now I am giving you some advices about the coronavirus or COVID-19. Reduce your risk of COVID-19 infection. Cadets, first, wash your hands with soap or use a hand sanitizer. Then cover a cough or sneeze. Dear cadets, cover your cough or sneeze with your sleeves or tissues. Dispose the tissue and wash hands afterwards. Next, my dear cadets, keep a distance of around 1 meter away from others in public. Finally, my dear cadets, stay at home. Always stay home unless you have an important reason to leave the house. My dear cadets, now introduction myself. I am Muhammad AL-AMIN Mukhtar, Associate Professor, Department of Political Science. My dear cadets, here in this slide you see as many as 4 photographs. First one, the personality you see, he is none other than our Chief Election Commissioner. In second picture or photograph, you see few people or citizens. They are showing their NID, I means National Identity Card or Voter ID card. They are standing on a queue line and showing their voter ID card. It means that they are standing or waiting here to cast their vote in a public election. In next photograph, one lady, she is pouring a paper on a box which is called the ballot box, and the paper what she is pouring, this is the ballot paper of an election, and she is casting her vote very secretly and individually in a room which is called polling booth. And last one, this is the map of Bangladesh, and here you see the number is written all over the country from 1 to 300. It means these are the constituencies of our Bangladesh. For the national election. So for these four photographs or pictures, what you are gazing, surely I know you are very meritorious and talented student, and very clearly you can understood that we are going to discuss, or I am going to impart my lesson on election, vote, and so on. Today's topic is, my dear cadets, is election system of Bangladesh from your book Bangladesh and Global Studies, chapter 6 and lesson 3 and 4. My dear cadets, now learning outcomes of today's lesson. With the end of the chapter or lesson, cadets, you will be able to define the definition of election commission, or define the constituency, or you will be able to know the qualification of voter, and finally you will be able to know the rules of contesting election. Minute creates now lesson introduction. You know, election is one of the most important founding principles of democracy. In this system, I mean in democratic system, the citizens get the option or opportunity to elect their representatives from more than one candidate. There is an organization in your country named Election Commission, which is responsible to arrange the elections. It means that this commission is responsible as a whole to arrange all sorts of public election. For the convenience of the election, a national election, the whole country is divided into 300 specific constituencies, I mean voting areas. The process of casting vote is a significant stage of election. Citizens of Bangladesh can contest any local or general election if he or she fulfills the required condition. Minute creates now lesson 3, Election Commission, Constituency and Code of Conduct for Election. First, Election Commission. You know, the institution that organizes and arranges the elections is called the Election Commission. There is one such commission in Bangladesh too. It has one chief election commissioner and several commissioners appointed by the president. They, I mean chief election commissioner and other commissioners, serve the commission for 5 years from their date of joining. It means that their tenure is for the 5 years. The main responsibility of the commission is to conduct the elections of national and local levels both. The election commission has to do many other related things to the effect of fair conduct of each election. It creates now duties and responsibilities of election commission. First one is making and updating the voter list. When a person touches his age is 18 years, then he can enlist himself as a voter in the voter list, which is called making voter list. Or after 4 or 5 years in a regular interval, the election commission, I mean the government, update the voter list. It means those who are died, they are deducted from the list, and those who are by this time touches the 18 years or reach the 18 years, they are enlisted newly as a newly voter in the list. Second, conducting all elections and by-elections. Conducting all election means from national elections to local elections, I mean the Jatiya Sanshad election, the city corporation election, Paurushabha election, Upajila election, district council election, or Union Parishad election as well as. And the by-election means when a representative is died or he is unable to carry out his duties and responsibilities as a representative, then because of illness he resigned or some other reason he is compelled to resign, then again election is held in an interim period which is called the by-election. So this is the duty or responsibility of Election Commission to arrange the by-election. Next one is allocating the election symbols. But it creates in an election, you know, more than one candidates are there. So, knowing the candidates separately or individually by the voters, they are not known by their names and the photographs, rather they are known to the voters by the symbol. So, Election Commission allocate the symbols to the candidates. Next, duty and responsibility of Election Commission is democrating the constituencies. Dictates constituency means the election area. So, for example, in national, Jatiya Sanshad election, whole country is divided into 300 parts. So each and every part is called the constituency, which is demarcated by the Election Commission or the government. Like this, constituency is demarcated or defined in city corporation election, Paurushabha election, Upazila election, and Union Parishad election. Next one is setting up polling centers. It is, you know, in the schedule or scheduled date of the vote, the voters, they're casting their vote in a particular center. It may in primary school, high school, college, madrasa, community center, or some other places which is called the polling center or the vote center. That should be set for a temporarily but a particular date or time. Next, duty and responsibility of the Election Commission is printing the ballot paper. Now, before this, preparing the code of conduct. You know, election should be free, fair, neutral. What will be accepted and credible one to the mass people. That's why code and conduct should be there. So it is the another responsibility of Election Commission to prepare the code of conduct of the election. It means that what can do or what shouldn't do by the candidate and supporters as well as the voters by themselves. Then printing the ballot paper. Ballot paper should be supplied by the election commission. So this is the question or matter of printing the ballot paper. This is the responsibility of the election commission. Then making ballot boxes. We know that every voter secretly pour his vote or cast his vote and put into a box which is called the ballot box. So it is the responsibility of the election commission to make the ballot paper sufficient in number. Then smooth imposition of code of conduct. In number 6, the responsibility of the election commission is to prepare the code of conduct. After preparation of code of conduct, if it is not imposed properly or applied properly or ensured properly, the code of conduct will be valueless or meaningless. That's why this is the another prime responsibility of election commission to impose smoothly the code of conducts of election. Next one, taking votes and declaring the result. In the scheduled date, voters will come in the polling center. So it is the duty of the few specific or detailed officers or personalities to take the votes of the voters without any delay or hindrances, and after finishing the vote, then the responsibility is to election commission to declare the result. I mean, who got how many numbers of the votes and who is the winner. Finally, dissolving the election feuds. It creates casting vote, taking vote, counting them and declaring the result. It's a huge task. So throughout this task there may be some complexities or some law or rule breaking issues or some feuds or misunderstandings or chaos and conflicts may be arised. So then election concern or election related any sorts of feuds or disputes is dissolved by the election commission. So cadets, in short, these are the duties and responsibilities of election commission. But cadets, now we should clear the meaning of constituency, or we should clearly understand what is constituency or what is meant by constituency. The whole country is divided into specific areas for the sake of electing representatives. Each of these areas is called a constituency. Borders of such constituency vary from election to election according to the nature of the election. For example, the country is divided into 300 constituencies for the election of Jatiya Samsad, or in election of city corporation. Each and every city corporation is divided into several constituencies based on its area. If the area of city corporation is comparatively bigger, the number of the constituencies will be more, or if the area of the city corporation is comparatively less, the number of the constituency will be less. And this is similarly applicable for Upazila election, Pura Sabha election, and election of Union Parishad. Creates similarly constituents for city corporation, Upazila, Purushabha and Union Parishad elections at the specified respective local borders. The election commission specifies the area. Just keep in mind, a voter of an area cannot cast his or her vote in another area. Conduct of the election and declaration of the results are also done according to the election area. But it creates here, you see the Bangladesh map, and in whole country from 1 to 300, I mean in northern part number 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the southeastern part, the last number of the constituency is 300. So each and every number is determining the constituency. Whole country is divided into 300. Each and every number, I mean this is the number of that constituency. So out of this number and this map, you can very clearly and practically understand what the constituency is. It creates now constituencies for city corporation, Upazila Purushabha and Union Parishad elections at the specified respective local borders. The election commission specifies the area. A voter of an area cannot cast his or her vote in another area. It means that each and every voter should cast his vote in his own constituency or own area of vote. He will not be allowed to cast his vote in another area or constituency. Conduct of the election and declaration of the results are also done according to the election area. But it creates now code of conduct for election. One of the important tasks of the election commission is to prepare a code of conduct for election. It is done with a view to smooth conduct of election for normal and peaceful environment is a prerequisite for free and fair election. Creates with this aim in view, election commission prepares a list of principles, rules or regulations or laws of how the people of the constituency, I mean the people of the specific voting area would behave. This is called the code of conduct, which is very clearly and specifically related or concerned with the election. Creates now the following list highlights some of these election codes of conduct. First one, it is a photographs. You see the people are in a procession mode. So no procession or rally is permitted when submitting the nomination paper. Please keep in mind, in a particular day, filling up one form, it is to be submitted in a nearest election or stipulated election office, which is called the submitting the nomination paper. So during submission of nomination paper, this type of procession is not allowed. Next one, writing on the wall or sticking poster on the wall is not allowed. This is another conduct of election. Here you see one person is writing something on the wall. So in here writing is some other else. So like this, in on wall you cannot write anything about the election, about the candidate, about the poster, or so on. Next one, meeting cannot be held on the streets and roads. Meter creates roads is for walking or running the vehicles or the traffics. It means easily coming and going path of the people. So during the election, no one have authority or is allowed to block the road, sitting there or standing there, or making jam or obstacle of the vehicles or coming going of the people. So this is another code of conduct of election, means that any meeting cannot be held on the streets or roads. Next one, posters can be hung on cords and placards can be used. Yes, this is allowed. There is two photographs. In first one you see the posters are hanging of different candidates, and another one placards are placed there. So yes, it can be done as a campaign of election in favor of any candidate. This is also the code of conduct of the election. Next one, no gates and lighting for publicity are permitted. Yes, no one can prepare or make any gate spending amount of money, or is not allowed to arrange the lighting. This is prohibited. Next one, motorcycle or any other vehicles is not permitted to rally. In election campaign in favor of any candidate, few peoples riding the motorcycle, running the motorcycle, or making any motorcycle rally or procession is prohibited. Another one, voters cannot be gifted with anything and served with tea or drinks in the camps. In elections camps, no candidate can offer any gift to the voter or any sorts of snacks or tea or foods to the voters. It is illegal or prohibited. So these are the code and conducts of election. Now, lesson 4, vote and casting vote and rules of contest in election. When it creates the process of casting votes in a significant stage of election, specifically, it is the most important political rights of citizens in a modern democratic country. Following is a discussion on qualification of franchise, vote, casting vote, and rules for contesting election. First, the qualification of a voter. We know there are people or the inhabitant in a country, but keep in mind, my dear cadets, each and every people, the inhabitant is not considered as a voter. To be a voter should have some qualities. If anyone can fulfill some specific condition, only then he is determined as a voter. First one, he or she must be the citizen of Bangladesh in our country. Second, he or she must be 18 years of age or above. It means the age of a voter starts from 18 years, so 18 years above. Third, she or he must be an inhabitant of the election area or constituency. It is earlier also I have discussed that each and every voter should be the inhabitant of a stipulated or specific area of vote, which should be enlisted by the election commission in a voter list. If in any government approved or government made or prepared voter list the name is not enlisted, he will not be treated as a voter and he will not be allowed to cast his vote. Then he or she must not be insane and was not declared bankrupt by any court. Insane means mad, or the people, the mental health is not sound, or any bank is not declared him as a bankrupt. Bankrupt means deulia, and deulia means a person who takes the loan from the bank but in a specific time or in the time of condition he could not repay the money to that specific bank, and his stable or unstable property, his values is not even equivalent to the loan, then bank declared him the bankrupt. It means deulia. Disqualification of any of the above standards means he or she will disqualify as a legal voter. 1, 2, 3, 4, these conditions should be fulfilled by person, only then he is a voter. If anyone failed to fulfill any of the conditions, then he is disqualified as a voter. Now, process of casting vote. There are two systems of voting. First one is open vote, second one is secret ballot process. Open voting, our representatives is elected through raising hands or vocal support. This gives instant result, which is called the open voting. It means that in open place, if people raise their vote in favor of any person, if the number of the raising hands is more than the other, then he is elected. This is called the open vote. Once in Greece, it was in practice. Nowadays, all over the country, nowhere you will found that open vote is held in, rather secret ballot. One is to cast his or her vote, marking their favored candidate on the ballot paper and dropping it in the box. It means before entering the polling booth, the election officers, they will hand over one paper where the symbols or marks are printed. This is called the ballot paper. So, putting any seal or any mark on a symbol and then putting or dropping it in the box is called the casting vote. After finishing the casting all the votes or finishing the stipulated time, the result is declared later when counting is complete. First, after finishing the casting vote, the vote will be counted. Then, who is winner, it will be declared. In many countries, including ours, follow this system. My dear cadets, almost all the countries of this world or is present modern world following the secret ballot process. Here, first one you see the three piece of paper. Symbols are there here. Symbol optic, symbol football, duck, then motorcycle, helicopter, book, horse, and some others. These are the symbol of each and every candidate. And right side you see two people, they are doing something in front of the box. It means that even the people who is standing beside, he is not knowing that to whom he is casting his vote. It is very secretly. This is the secret ballot voting process. Now, rules of contesting election. To contest in election by the representatives or the candidates have some rules. Very much like right to vote, right to contest in an election is also a democratic right of any citizen. Citizens of Bangladesh can contest in a local or general election if he or she fulfills the following conditions. First one, any person can contest an election as a member of any party registered with the Election Commission or as an independent candidate. So, in two ways, one a candidate can contest in election. First one, to be as a member of any registered political party or any party, or is registered in political party, rather individually or independently he can contest in election as a candidate. Second one, the candidate must be a citizen of Bangladesh. Yes, this is the condition, or country of other in the world. The number three, the willing candidate must be a particular minimum age in our country to be voter. The 18 years, she must be at least 25 years if he or she is contested to the membership in Jatiya Samsad or chairmanship or membership for Upazila Parishad. Number four, one cannot participate in an election if he or she is certified as insane or bankrupt. The state in Bangladesh, earlier I have discussed what is insane and what is bankrupt. Number five, he or she can contest an election while in government service. It means any government service holder, he is not eligible to contest in election as a candidate. Yes, if any governmental employee or officer or the personnel he want to be candidate or contest an election, first he has to resign from the service. Then all responsibilities of conducting all elections in Bangladesh lie on the Election Commission. Earlier I have discussed. Candidates, the person willing to contest submit nomination paper to the Election Commission within a given time. It means in a particular or stipulated time, one person should deposit his paper of the application paper or the candidature, which is called the nomination paper. The commission verifies the nomination papers. It means that the information which are supplied in the application should be genuine and true. If it is found the information is supplied by the candidate is not true or legal or sufficient, then the nomination paper will be declared illegal. If they find that the candidate fulfilling all conditions, they allocate election symbol to him, her, and permission to contest. If not, then the nomination paper will be declared as a rejected. He will not have an option to contest in the election. My dear cadets, finally, election is held on a given date, specific date or stipulated date or date of scheduled. The person who gets the highest number of votes in the counting is officially declared by the commission as the elected and victorious. There are two types of declaration. One is unofficial declaration, the temporary declaration, and another one is official or final declaration. Official or final declaration, it means the declaration by the authorized person or individual or officers by the election commission. Conclusion. With the end of today's lesson, we may come in conclusion that election is such a thing which is considered important founding principles of democracy. In this system, the citizen get comprehensive opportunity to elect their representatives from more than one candidate. The election is held through secret ballot. The winner in the result of election form the local and national government, and they participate to run the administration of the country as well as. But it creates now home task. Do you think the Election Commission of Bangladesh is playing its role properly to hold free, fair and credible election? Explain. Again, do you think the Election Commission of Bangladesh is playing its role properly to hold free, fair and credible election? Explain. Next lesson for you. I'll impart my lesson, chapter 12. Name or title is Bangladesh and International Cooperation. Grades assignment, upload and submission. I will upload for you the assignment, but you will get the time to upload or to submit your assignment from 12 November 1400 hours. We will get the time 40th November 1400 hours. In this stipulated time, you are to give the answer of the question and submit it to our college ID. Merit cadets, finally, again corona awareness. Protect yourself from COVID-19. First, cover your sneeze and cough with a tissue. Second, wash your hands often. Finally, avoid contact with sick people. Merit cadets, at the end of today's lecture, please convey my salam and gratitude to your parents. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.